Hello, Assyria TV viewers. We have to tell you that today we have an Assyrian directly live from Assyria with us, and we have a lot of questions about what's going on right now in northern Iraq. We want to say welcome, Maryam Zaya, to Assyria TV, and thank you for taking your time.
Thank you for having me.
Maryam, we want to know, we can ask you the simple questions. Who are you? Can you tell us about
Sure.
yourself?
I'm Miriam Zia. I'm currently living in Erbil in northern Iraq.
Then I don't need to ask you where do you live right now. How far do you live from Nahla?
I'm about a 2-hour drive from Nahla.
Okay. Have you been there those days?
I actually just came back from Nahla on Sunday. I spent a week there.
Okay. Then have you heard something new today about what's going on in Nahla?
Something new, I would say there was a situation that started while I was in Nahla last week, which involved new checkpoints being implemented on the access roads to Nahla, which have been preventing a lot of villagers from accessing food supplies or trying to bring them into the village has been very difficult for them. But as of today or yesterday, nothing new has changed, nothing new has come up, or nothing has changed in the situation.
Okay. We see that there are a lot of rumors spread on social media that Assyrians has been killed in a battle. Is it true?
I don't believe it's true. I have not heard anything from my friends in Nahla. I also reached out to some friends in Barwar to check, and while there were some bombings or attacks in Barwar last night, there were no casualties.
This fight is between who?
This fight is between the Turkish military and the PKK.
Okay, so that we know now is that there are not something new about what's going on in Nahla today. It's been for a week ago.
It's been, so there are many layers to this question. The constant military attacks by the Turkish government in response to the PKK, this has been ongoing for over a decade. Both Nahla and Barwar have been subjected to this kind of attack for many decades. The villagers, the Assyrians there, are not directly targeted, but because the PKK are hiding in those villages, then they are bystanders to this fight. And so a lot have had to flee their homes in order to just feel safe. So it's causing trauma, and it's causing displacement of Assyrians. In Nahla, currently, the fight is actually, I need to correct myself. Currently, the fight is between the Kurdish government and the PKK. There have been a rise in conflict between them, and the tensions have been rising. And as a result of these tensions, the local government has implemented these new checkpoints on the way to Nahla. And the idea with these checkpoints is to disrupt the food supply to the PKK that are hiding in the valley.
Okay. Have you seen those things with your eyes? Have you been there?
So I have seen the checkpoint. It is quite an extensive checkpoint. I was leaving Nahla when I went through the checkpoint, so leaving was much easier. But my friends who have been trying to bring in food into Nahla have had a lot of issues. So the agent at the checkpoint may tell you that you cannot go into Nahla if they see that you have more than a few kilos of rice, for example, or a few kilos of flour. So there, for example, there's a bakery in Nahla, and they need to bring flour in to bake bread for the villagers, but they're not allowed to bring in more than 25 kilos of flour at a time. And if you try to bring in more, they ask you to go to the police station in Aqara, which is about 45 minutes from Nahla, to get authorization to bring these supplies into the village.
Even if you say that you're Assyrian?
Even if you say that you're Assyrian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which are those people who are standing in those checkpoints?
They are Peshmerga.
Okay. So the fight is with the Peshmerga and PKK?
Yes.
Okay. In the past, the Turkish plans have bombed the Kurdish terrorist PKK. And what's going on right now? Is it still the same? Are they still bombing?
It is still the same. It's ongoing. You never know when it will happen. It's ongoing, and it's been ongoing for decades.
Where are they bombing? Like in Nahla, in Barwar, or some other places?
Nahla, Barwar, Zaho, I believe in May or June, there were some bombings around Zaho. So it's all the areas where PKK have been established.
Okay, so the last question I have is very important, and I want you, like you said before, are our people safe right now in Nahla and in Barwar?
That's a difficult question to answer. Are they safe? Have they been killed? They haven't been killed. Are they safe? I would say they're not safe. For as long as there are tensions that don't even involve them and conflicts that don't involve them that are happening in that area, they will not be safe because they will always be bystanders to those conflicts.
So there's non-Assyrians being killed?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, Maryam Zaya, thank you so much. And the last thing I want to have you something more to say to the Assyria TV viewers or to all of the Assyrians around the world who will see this?
Yes, I do. Actually, I would urge all Assyrians around the world to keep informed of what is happening here in Atra. Follow reliable sources of information. Assyria TV is one of them. I also urge them to follow the Assyrian Policy Institute, who always publish very accurate and informative posts about the situation in and around Atra.
Thank you, Maryam Zaya, for taking your time and telling us about the progress and everything about what's going on in Nahla and in Atra in Assyria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Assyria TV viewers, like you saw, we talked to Maryam Zaya. She is in Assyria and she knows what's going on. If we hear something, we will talk to her or other Assyrians who live in Nahla or Barwar or somewhere else in Iraq. We want to say thank you and we will see you.